activist. Let's take a look.
Challenge by my producers. And as you know, I love a good challenge. Today, we're going to be presented with a series of pro-abortion arguments from Bill Nye the Science Guy, who's very scientific. I'm going to debunk each of them.
Many, 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 many more hundreds of eggs are fertilized than become humans. Eggs get fertilized, and by that I mean sperm get accepted by ova a lot. But that's not all you need. You have to attach to the uterine wall, the inside of a womb, a woman's womb. But if you're going to hold that as a standard, that is to say, if you're going to say when an egg is fertilized, it's therefore has the same rights as an individual, then whom are you going to sue? Whom are you going to imprison? Every woman who's had a fertilized egg pass through her?
Ben Shapiro will be like, yes. Ben Shapiro, like, no matter what he responds to this as, he 100% would, okay? Like, yeah, of course, why not? Make the pool of women that are being fucking harassed by the criminal justice system in, like, ridiculous ways larger. He doesn't give a fuck.
Okay, stop it right there. Okay, so he's making several arguments in a row. Number one, you'll notice that he says that the location of the fertilized ova is what matters, right? That once it's implanted, then presumably it is now on its way to becoming a full human life. I've noticed that his standard for abortion is not implantation. There are some politicians who believe implantation is the standard, including, for example, Newt Gingrich. That is not his standard. He has not offered a standard, you'll notice. Also, the notion that a spontaneous bodily abortion, meaning your body does not actually carry through the pregnancy, that this is treated the same way as a purposeful, deliberate abortion is very silly. In no area of criminal law would you treat those two things the same. If you
This is the worst fucking thing I've ever heard in my entire life. This is the most, you are the biggest piece of shit on the planet. There is no difference, and you're fucking lying. You are such a gigantic scum fucking piece of shit, dude. What a garbage psycho. Oh my God. Dude, I didn't realize that this was unironically what these fucking pieces of shit were going to go along with. That the narrative is actually that, like, oh yeah, no one is actually criminalizing fucking miscarriages. Like, no, they are. There is no way to make this distinction, okay? As a matter of fact, plenty of doctors are refusing to fucking treat people for legitimate ectopic pregnancy reasons and legitimate fucking pregnancy complications because they're fucking worried about the law. And in plenty of instances and in plenty of fucking states, they don't even make that distinction. They don't even give a fuck. Not only is it functionally the fucking same, the outcomes are the same regardless, okay? But in certain instances, the legislation literally doesn't even fucking account for it. So shut the fuck up. And by the way, this is not some like, oh my God, unforeseen problem as a consequence of banning abortion. This is exactly what everyone was talking about. I'm a fucking idiot, okay? I'm an idiot. I'm a dumb himbo. And I've been talking about this for years. If you ban pregnancies, you're going to end up with a fuckload of problems, specifically that revolves around like pregnancies that are medical complications, not even a pregnancy because you don't want to fucking carry a pregnancy to term. Which, by the way, you should be able to have regardless. Especially hilarious because, especially did I say pregnancies? I meant abortions. Anyway, this is, of course, additionally hilarious because Ben Shapiro is so cucked by Christianity, despite claiming to be an Orthodox Jew, that, like, he is unironically going against Judaism, which allows for abortion. You fucking bitch. God, he is like the most, he is the white Christian man's bitch, dude. Biggest bitch.
Left your car in neutral and it slid down a hill and it hit somebody, that would not be treated the same thing as you taking your car, ramming your foot to the gas while somebody is standing right behind the car. Not the same thing. As far as who'd be punished, the entire pro-life movement has made the point that it's the abortion doctor who should theoretically be punished in these cases since he's part of essentially an abortion mill.
Nobody likes abortion.
Wait, stop. Okay, so why? Why? Really? It's fine. What's the problem? He's just said that it's basically the same thing as a
Let me describe this really quickly, because that's not the own that Ben thinks it is. Nobody likes getting a heart transplant either, you fucking dumb idiot. Your wife is a doctor. Maybe she can describe how complicated these medical procedures are. Just because someone doesn't want to get a medical procedure because they're fucking terrified of the outcomes of it, or just because someone doesn't want to get a fucking medical procedure because medical procedures can be traumatic, doesn't change the reality that you can fucking legislate it away. Ben Shapiro would be like, nobody likes amputations. Why? I guess we should stop people from having amputations. Yeah, if you have diabetes and your toes are no longer, there's no blood circulation going down to your toes, you want to get that cut? I'm not letting you. Because Christians said you can't do it.
Naturally occurring thing, and half the time just kind of slides out and whatever. Why? Why does nobody like abortion? Explain.
But you can't tell somebody what to do.
Dude, this is the dumbest. Dude, these arguments are so bad. They're so bad. They're so bad. People don't like going to the doctor, okay? Okay, and no one likes killing kids, Hasan. What do you mean no one likes killing kids? Maybe expand your mind a bit. It doesn't hurt. XQCL. Brother, do not fucking come in here and hit me with an XQCL after saying one of the dumbest things you've ever heard. Dumbest things I've ever heard in this fucking chat. Listen, you dumb juicer fuck. Understand that, number one, your juice lord also doesn't agree with you and thinks you're a fucking dumbass. Number two, okay? Number two, not all juicers, plenty of fucking juicers in here who aren't as brain dead as this fucking idiot. Easy, okay? Yeah, number two, you're banned. Number three, you're not fucking doing baby murder. It is a medical procedure that revolves around bodily autonomy of the fucking pregnant person, okay? The medical procedure. You can fucking call it baby murder all you want. That's not what's going on.
I mean, she has rights over this, especially if she doesn't like the guy that got her pregnant.
Okay, stop that right there. What? If the guy got her pregnant, and presumably we're not talking about a rape here, but she doesn't like the guy who got her pregnant, so she gets to kill the product? How? Why? Is there any logical connect there at all? By the way, there are many people who don't like the father of their children. The children are fully grown. Can I murder the child now? What happens in cases of divorce? Does mommy just go to kill the kids? Because
this is so funny. Bro. It's literally like a fucking DNR request, right? Like having a family member in a coma that is not going to be able to fucking survive ever. And Ben Shapiro's like, wow, you want to pull the plug? Wow, you want to pull the plug on your 98-year-old grandfather who's a vegetable? What if why? Because you don't like the vibes of your grandfather? Is that why?
Daddy don't get, like, what? There's no logical connect there at all.
We have so many more important things to be dealing with.
Wait, stop. What? I mean, man, this is just, he doesn't even bother to carry through the line of argument. It's just a bunch of emotional appeals. We have so many more important things to be dealing with than what? The killing of 1 million unborn human beings in the womb every year in the United States? That seems like a pretty important thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Because no one thinks it's killing unborn human beings. You're lying to yourself and other people around you to try and make it seem like it's something more nefarious, and that's exactly what's going on. Bill Nye's original argument completely destroyed the argument that Ben Shapiro is trying to plant. Because if every fertilized egg was actually, every time a fertilized egg did not turn into an abortion, in vitro fertilization, which is a process in which, like, there's 1,000 trials and errors, right, sometimes, would mean that there is an additional 2 million fucking murders occurring just in the process of trying to fertilize an egg. Okay? That is what would be happening. But Ben doesn't say that. He says, 1 million abortions occurring. That's 1 million babies being murdered in the womb. Why? Why don't you extend that fucking argument to in vitro fertilization? The reason why he's not doing that is because he doesn't genuinely believe that it's actually baby murder, but he has to act like it's baby murder, because if it was just about like controlling women's bodies and denying them a medical procedure that they should be able to get, that they could conduct on their own bodies, which would be really, really dangerous, and plenty do, unfortunately, when they have no option of getting this kind of health care. The reason why explaining it like that would not look good for Ben. So he has to explain it in the other way. It's baby murder.
We have so many more problems. To squander resources on this argument based on bad science, on just lack of understanding.
No.
It's very frustrating.
And what bad science have I presented thus far? Any?
Life begins at conception is not science. Life begins at conception is just religion.
You wouldn't know how big a human egg was if it weren't for microscopes.
So the what? Why does the size matter? I'm confused. He's a scientist. This is like him saying, well, you know, does atomic chemistry matter at all? Does molecular biology matter? Like, do those things matter? I mean, if you didn't have a microscope, you wouldn't even know they exist.
Wait, what? Dog. Bill Nye is right. You could make the same argument about a fertilized egg as a fucking cancer. You understand that? As a tumor. Okay? They have very similar properties, dumbass. The difference there is that Bill Nye is unironic. Bill Nye is saying, like, listen, like, no one's making an argument to save tumors, right? I mean, holy shit, I hope not. Ben got that one struck a nerve with Ben. The size matters take from Bill Nye really hit him. I wonder why. Okay? That one hit him hard. He is very upset about that one.
Yeah, but they have consequences, it turns out.
You wouldn't know the process. You wouldn't have that shot, the famous shot or shots where the sperm are bumping up against the egg. You wouldn't have that without science.
Right, and we do. So, and your point is that we'd be better.
Notice how Ben very cleverly, and this is something that a lot of conservatives do nowadays, did not mention why it is scientific to claim that life begins at conception. Because the entire movement behind the abortion is murder narrative believes that life begins at conception. Life begins immediately as soon as an egg is fertilized. But if you mention that, especially in our day and age, people go, okay, that's some fucking Christian zealotry right there. I don't give a fuck about that, dog. You know, chill the fuck out. Shut the fuck up. Ben can't say that, one, because he's Jewish and not Christian, and two, because he understands that a larger audience will believe the narrative that he's trying to craft here when he says abortion is murder, if he doesn't actually mention the premise, if he hides the premise. The underlying premise behind abortions are murder is that life begins at conception. That is not scientific. There is no scientific basis for the claim that life begins at conception. And if life doesn't begin at conception, okay, which is a philosophical argument you can have, but it doesn't pertain to this discussion regardless, okay, then you can't actually fucking provide a counter that is scientific, which is precisely why he didn't even do that. He just said no and moved on to the microscope thing. Notice how he didn't mention why Bill Nye's argument is unscientific?
Better off if we were ignorant like you appear to be.
You stupid.
Man, the science guy over here. I love this. He's deriding science in order to avoid the consequences of his own arguments. He's like, you wouldn't even know about sperm and egg if it weren't for me, the science guy, and that's why you should ignore what's happening with sperm and egg.
So I just really encourage you to...
If he was ignoring what's happening with the sperm and egg, he wouldn't have begun his argument by talking about how a sperm and egg are not literally fucking life. Okay? A fertilized egg is not actual life. He already clarified that in the beginning, which Ben didn't have an argument for. He didn't have a counter for. So he moved on. This is just like doing angry faces at Bill Nye describing scientifically correct statements. Okay? That's all this video has been. Ben really fucking fell off, dude. The saddest fall off story has been Ben. A man who unfortunately suffers from success. The success of the conservative movement has destroyed this man. Conservatism revolves around constantly creating new narratives for victimhood and finding persecution where no such persecution exists. And when you are winning so aggressively, like even when you're losing, you're winning so fucking aggressively, okay? Because, the Democrats are supposedly in power right now, and the conservative movement is more powerful than it ever has been in contemporary history. Ben is having a hard time coming up with new narratives of victimhood. That's it. He can't do it. He gave up.
Not tell women what to do and not pursue these laws that really are in nobody's best interest.
They're in nobody's best interest except for the unborn.
I love that. This is the Andrew Tate technique. You're boring.
To do.
Yeah. Women's bodily autonomy is boring to talk about. In a legislative agenda designed around denying women bodily autonomy. I love that. That's great. He just fucking owned Bill Nye by what? Saying that argument is boring and moving on? That's great.
Not pursue these laws that really are in nobody's best interest.
They're in nobody's best interest except for the unborn child. Also, what is a woman? Also, I love that he just comes back to his truism. You can't tell women what to do. The entire point is, I'm not telling a woman what to do with her body. I'm telling her what
a doctor can't do to a woman's body.
She can't do to somebody else's body.
So here's the problem. If you believe in preserving life, if you believe in protecting life, then why the fuck are you telling a woman that she can't take this pill and have an abortion? If you are denying a woman's right to a medical procedure, you are literally saying a whole ass, full ass, grown ass human being is going to have a worse life overall and maybe might even fucking die as a consequence of not being able to get this goddamn medical procedure. Okay? The pro-life movement is built on this oxymoronic, inherently contradictory attitude that the potential for life down the line is still more important than the current life that is alive at this very moment. It's so stupid. It's so idiotic. But of course, it is purposeful cruelty.